FutureDad 34, Being Happy versus Being Right. Quote, people don't accept what you tell them, they only accept what they discover on their own. Socrates. Attacks by non-natives and Muslims, for example, Southport massacre and Manchester airport attack, resumed in 2024 after a hiatus during the scamdemic lockdowns. I was not in the least bit surprised. Like many patriots, I have talked about the Muslim problem to friends and family for nearly 2 decades. See FutureDad 33, How and Why the UK Will Collapse, for more details. It gives me no satisfaction to know that I was right all along, mainly because A, I have made no difference whatsoever in stopping it, and B, innocent blood was and still is being shed. What does this tell us about the preoccupation of being right to one's possible detriment compared to the alternative of letting go and being happy instead? It takes a great deal of public focus on a topic for people to sit up and take notice outside their daily attention spam. I'm reminded of the mesmerizing conversation in the car on the way to the box scene in the movie Seven. If you haven't seen it, spoilers, the 7-sin obsessed killer laments how it takes an act of extreme barbarism to make an impact on the world. And he's right. But it's even harder than that to make people change a long-held opinion. It takes a regular correspondence with real-life consequences and a rare capacity for self-reflection to do so. Then comes the hardest part of all, a permanent change of behaviour. It requires a similar level of shock of an alcoholic waking up in a dumpster to finally commit to ditching the bottle. The underlying reason for this is that almost everyone is a linear first-level thinker. This is doubly true for people in power whose vested interests eclipse any notion of course correction. Only the immediate benefit troubles the modern technocratic decision maker, whether in local council or Westminster. As a consequence, the disorders of malfeasance, mayhem, and murder are the norm in our cities. Almost all are caused by the aggressive cancers of high time preference, consequence-free lying, and variants of communism. See FutureDad 2, Lies, Life's Deep Water, and FutureDad 17, Britain is Already Socialist. So how do we reconcile this resistance to change with the dilemma of being either right or happy? It could reasonably be suggested that the best thing to do is to focus on being happy, since there is a vanishingly small prospect of making a difference, even if you're right. Why bother yourself with politics and hypotheticals when you can get on with just living your best life instead of shaking your fist at the sky? Well, it is a little more complicated and involuntary than that binary choice. There's something else to consider more carefully first. When you concern yourself with societal decay, it's usually not as a disinterested observer. You're doing more than football commentary. You are preparing yourself for a likely future. The synthetic sense of calm you get from willful ignorance is brittle compared to the calm preparedness required of a leader. You are emulating the more successful of your ancestors by watching the horizon. You feel their hand on your shoulder when you notice and plan for the worst. You project forward-looking scenarios because you need a plan which protects you and your loved ones. If you stroll through life in blissful ignorance, then sure, you might be less stressed and as a corollary, be happier. But you run the risk of sudden gut-wrenching horror when the blurry shapes on the horizon begin to sprint towards you. Maybe you'll have time to feel deep regret in the final seconds, maybe not. How's that happiness now? So you see, it's not a choice you have to make as a man. It's not a choice you can make as a man, assuming you are a sovereign individual and you value life above all else. All the steps which led you to thriving in the present had to be taken with a concrete grasp of the truth and a somber assessment of the preparations to make. You can no more hide and evade than you could volunteer your own enslavement. Then what about being either right or happy in everyday situations? That's the time to relax one's intensity. In a debate about the year of the Gettysburg Address or the smallest planet in the solar system, treat it with playfulness, but not with triviality either. The modern world wants you to abandon facts and figures, all the better to manipulate and control you. So get in the habit of calmly sticking to your guns until proven wrong. When the time comes, gracefully admit you were wrong. It shows a man in control of his ego to do so. Be grateful to the person who corrected you. Thank them for shortening the time span in which you were wrong. Otherwise, continue on your path of reason, wherever it takes you. Someday, truth-seeking descendants will feel your hand on their shoulder. FutureDad.